Alright, so this is a DIY Explorer kit that I got from eBay. It's a Chinese made kit, allegedly some sort of mahogany. Who knows? A couple little defects and stuff we can sand out and try to fix. A couple of deep scratches and whatnot. Obviously no holes drilled here. You usually have the 3 holes. So that gives us some more options. If you saw, I did a short on this here where I was making fun and saying, what's this hole here for? Some people got the joke, some didn't. Yeah, we are going to build, all being well, a single pickup build on this guitar, obviously. And this is how we're going to do it. It's a little something I'll save till later. That wasn't part of the kit. What I got in the kit for £160 was the body, the neck, which is quite nice actually. The ends are quite sharp on the frets, so we'll need to sort those out. We'll do that later. So we also get this little bag of goodies with the kit. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Some wiring. We have what looks like 2 volumes, 1 tone, a 3-way switch, and the jack. It's already soldered, apart from the bridge grind, and obviously the pickups. You get some really cheap looking tuners. Couple strap buttons, they actually look okay. Decently heavy. And then a mess of screws attached to our pickups. There we go. 2 humbuckers. Our bridge with saddles. Our stop tail. And then jack plate and a mess of screws and whatnot for various things. The first thing I'm going to do is test fit the neck and then check the scale length to make sure that's all good. And we're looking for around 24 3/4 at the bridge, not the stop piece. That's the contact points for the strings. So yeah, this one's sitting pretty much bang on 24 3/4. A Stratocaster or Telecaster is usually 25.5 inch. First thing I'm going to do is glue this neck onto this body. So at this point I should set up the bridge and put in both E-string tuners, line up a string on each side of the fretboard of the neck and check the alignment of the neck, and I also want to check the pitch of the neck. Otherwise we could end up with a project with really high action. But I'm not going to do that. Now that may seem really stupid, and it probably is. The reason I'm not going to do it is I want to see, can you build one of these kits straight out of the box, glue it in together. Let's go ahead and see what happens. I'll probably regret that decision later. Probably overkill on the clamps, but I'm okay with that. I posted a picture and there was a guy in the comments got very upset that I wasn't using some sort of cork mat or a neck rest. So if you're watching this video, this is for you. I'm still not using one. Alright, so I have dyed the body red. There was one heavy coat went on and now I have sanded it all back. And we're ready for the next coat. Now, I really like how this looks red. There's some nice figure coming out of this wood. Obviously it's a water-based stain, so it's popped the grain. I've sanded it back down flat and it's ready for another coat. I was just going to keep this red and do all red. And I'm using the Crimson's Guitars Stunning Stains that I usually use. Part of me really wants to now go black over the top of the red, with the hope that some of the red will come through and it'll be quite a nice colour, but I'm scared I'm going to mess that up. You know, if the black's uneven or the red underneath's uneven, it's going to show up maybe a bit blotchy. So the safe bet would be just go for red, but I'm thinking black. I don't know, I need to think about this. I was supposed to be doing this quickly, just throw it together and maybe modify it, make it better later, but I'm taking too much time messing around with things like this. Right, I'm going to do a burst. This might be a stupid idea. I'm not sure if people do bursts on Explorers like this, but I'm going to do black around the edges and outside and then fade into red in the middle. I suppose, you know, if I mess it up, I'll just sand it down and start again. I think sometimes you can do too much, and I'm probably on the edge of that now, so I think I'm going to blend this in like this, and then that's going to be my last pass for now. We'll let it dry and we'll see how it looks. But first thoughts, I'm reasonably happy with it. Obviously I'll come and do the sides all black later, and then we'll repeat this on the bottom side. See if we can do something similar on the headstock. Just draw a line with my finger maybe around the outside. I mean, I think it looks just okay. Not sure how that shows up on camera and the lighting. That kind of tiger striping you're seeing is the figuring in the wood. Whatever sort of version of Chinese mahogany this is, it has quite a lot of figuring. It's quite nice. I have seen that before on the Chinese kits. It is quite nice. No, it's okay. You can stay there, Ellie. Yeah, that's okay. Hello, Murphy. Okay, so the body's all oiled now. Feels really, really good. It's beautifully smooth. This is 4, maybe 5 coats of True Oil. I've done the body, the neck, and the headstock, and then I have made up a pickguard and a matching truss rod cover. And I just remembered last night I should make a back plate for the cavity. I'll make one of those shortly from the same metal. And obviously the figuring in this wood's beautiful. It's come out in like this lovely tiger stripe, which, you know, adds to the black around the outside. I'm really happy I did the black burst. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with what I've done, happy with it. So usually now I would check the frets for their level, and I would do a full level crown polish job on the frets. Now I kind of wanted to build this guitar the way it was out of the box to see how good a Chinese guitar can be straight from the box. So probably all I'm going to do is sort out all the sharp edges, because my plan with this guitar is to modify it a bit more later. So when we take it apart to modify it, I want to do some upgrades on the hardware, the tuners, the tailpiece, the pickup. I want to do full hardware upgrade on it. So at that point I can sort out the neck, the frets, and any issues with it. So this is the mess of wires that comes with the kit. Yeah, I'm probably not going to use this except for the jack. Excuse the mess, but over here I have some pots. I think there's 2 or 3 in there that I bought for a strap project. I'm going to use one of those. That's all we need. What? Well, there goes the there goes the pickup wire. Oh my god. I don't know how I've done that. Oh well. Oh, and guess what I forgot that I always forget? Always forget to put the ground wire in. Is there a hole for it? No, not even a hole for it. there's no real indication which of these is the neck and which is the bridge. The poles, this one has slightly wider poles than this one, so we're going to say this is probably the bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the bridge position anyway. Probably going to change it out in the future at some point, so it doesn't really matter. Can't be bothered trying to fix this one. It's not worth it. It's so cheap. I'll just throw it in the parts bin with the rest of them. Okay, so a couple of things went wrong for me. There was the pickup thing. That's fine, not a problem. These pots that came with it, they're way too short to get through the body. And the one I had was way too short as well. It was a little bit longer than that one, but same problem. So what I had to do was take one of these Forstner, or whatever you call them, drill bits, and gouge out a bit of the interior cavity. Looks quite tidy. You can't really tell that I've done that. But that's just given me enough space to fit the big pot that I have the whole way through the body. The next thing is these cheap, crappy tuners didn't come with any screws. If you follow me recently, you'll know that I've just built this shed and I'm in the middle of moving all the stuff from my garage, which was my old workshop, out to this shed. And I'm a mess at the minute. Everything's a mess. Everything's everywhere. I don't know where anything is. I'm sure I have screws to do, but it could take me a day to find them. What I did find in the garage was a set of these Geiger locking tuners. I've used them before in a project. I had a project that I'd started and didn't finish. It was a guitar build for £100. I'll get to that again, but I'm going to steal those Geiger tuners. I could just steal the screws and use these crappy tuners that came with the kit, but might as well put the locking tuners on it before. I quite like the Geigers, and I know I'm talking a lot of shit right now, but long story short, I'm going to put the Geigers on, and I'm going to finish wiring this up. We'll get it strung up probably tomorrow at this stage, getting a bit late. We'll give it a bit of a test play, and yeah, we'll see. We'll take it from there. All right, let's put the strings on and see how bad the neck is, or see if we got lucky and it's good. I can already tell this has been a complete failure. Okay, so as you would expect, the neck on this thing is bloody terrible. I kind of predicted it. With these set neck kits, you can't really just build them out of the box. So we've got two main issues here that I'm going to try to resolve one of them, if I can. The first issue, which I'm not going to bother doing anything about, is the position of the E strings. So if you look here, there's quite a large gap on the fretboard here, but on the high E, it sits very close to the edge of the fretboard. You can see it kind of corrects itself the closer we get to the headstock. So what that means is the neck in the neck pocket, even though it was extremely tight fit, the neck would need to sit slightly more angled. So it's just the neck is sitting wrong, really, inside the neck pocket. That's fine. I mean, even if we get the action sorted out, that would be playable. So there's two things we can do now. Basically, if this was a bolt-on neck, I would sort the relief of the neck out, make sure it's perfectly straight, check the action then, take the neck off and shim it, basically to set the pitch of the neck slightly up on this end, therefore compensating for the action. We can't do that because we've glued this in, and I talked about it a bit at the start. If I had tested it with the bridge and the strings, this wouldn't have happened. So you really need to do that. Now, if you skipped over that part, you didn't listen to what I was saying. I was saying that I've never taken a set neck or glued in neck off a guitar before, so I want something to practice on. I'll probably do that with this, but for now, to see if I can play it and make it playable, there's two things I can do. So the first thing is the nut. This nut is horrendous. The action is so high here in the first fret, so I can file that nut way down to lower the string action here at these lower frets. That's probably not going to solve the action here, but checking the neck relief with my little ruler here, I can see that the neck is bowed in the middle like this here. So that is going to be affecting the action somewhat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wee truss rod cover off here, adjust the truss rod, get the neck sitting perfectly straight, do the nut, and then at that point we'll see what the action's like and see if it's even playable as a guitar, and then we can decide whether this has been a total failure or not. I'm going to call it now and say it has been, but you never know. There can be quite a lot of adjustment when you do relief and some nut filing. Honestly, I had no faith that just a truss rod adjustment was going to make such a difference. I don't have my wee ruler, but look, using this fret rocker, I mean, the difference in the action is just incredible. I didn't think it would make such a huge difference, just the truss rod, but that's really good. So I'm going to do the nut just a little bit. And obviously the bridge is wound the whole way down, so if we do need to, we can lift the bridge up a bit. But wow, I really thought the neck pitch was so badly wrong that a truss rod adjustment just wouldn't be enough, but there you go, proved me wrong. So really the only issue is the E strings, but I'm not fixing that with any kind of adjustment. is. Unfortunately, it's not without its flaws. The major thing, as I showed already, was the string height, the action. Surprisingly, the truss rod adjustment and the nut file has pretty much got all of that issue away. It is slightly higher on the high frets than it is the low frets. It's not enough to make a big deal out of, and I've certainly bought a lot of guitars where the action's been a hell of a lot worse than this, so pretty happy with the action. That being said, if it was a bolt-on neck, I would definitely take the neck off and do a bit of adjustment, maybe shim it, because the bridge is bottomed out on the high strings and it is raised ever so slightly for the low strings. So I would just like a little bit more adjustment in that, but it's not necessary. I mean, the guitar played perfectly well as it is, once it has a few things sorted. The major issue is there's a lot of buzzing. There's a lot of fret buzz in and around the 3rd fret. But as you saw, we didn't do any adjustment to the frets at all, so a simple level and crown will sort that out. The other thing would be, I would like the neck set slightly differently so that I have more room on the high E string, specifically down to these high frets here. It's not enough to cause too much of an issue, but that's something, if you're getting one of these kits, you really need to do. You really need to check the string alignment before you glue a neck in. Like I said earlier, I would like to have a guitar to practice on where I remove a glued in neck and then reset it. That's a skill that I don't have, never done before, and I would like to practice on. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the instrument to do it for. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether it's worthwhile taking this apart or not, or just fix the frets and leave it as it is. It looks really nice, and I'm pretty confident once I sort the fret height out, give them a good level, crown and polish, I can have it playing really well as well. Now, I don't have a sound demo because it's just buzzing all over the place, and really I'm still a mess at the minute. I think I've said it a few times in this video and maybe the other one I've started recording. I don't know where anything is. The only thing I could get was my old Marshall valve state. I mean, it's seen better days, but yeah, with the fret buzzing, there's not much we can do. You can hear. So yeah, it's not really playable. I can't find any of my pedals or anything to try any effects out. I can't even find, I have a positive grid spark, which would be great, but I can't even find it. So yeah, if you want to see more of this guitar, let me know, otherwise I'll just work on it myself. Could be an option to give this away to one of you as well, if that's something you're interested in. What I would like to do is swap out all the hardware, the pickup, put something decent into it, paint the pickguard and the back plates black, and then do all black hardware, which I think would be pretty cool. We'll see how deep we'll go with it, but if you want to see more of it, let me know, otherwise we'll just get on to the next project. Last thing before we go, I'm starting a series. It's going to be something a little bit different to what I usually do. That's going to be launching on Sundays, hopefully every 2nd week, maybe every 3rd week, depending on how long it takes to film in between. But yeah, that's going to be a series that I'm running alongside modifying and doing these kit builds and whatever, and also complete scratch builds, which are coming very, very soon. Don't forget guys, if you didn't like the video, make sure you hit the dislike button, and definitely don't subscribe. See you next time.